Alright, hello. This series, we're going to take a look at some of the games available in the Fienix Software Repositories. Fienix, of course, is a modern-day operating system for PowerPC-based personal computers. As you can see, I'm using a PowerPC E5500-based system, which is the A-EON X5000. The game that we're going to start off with is Quake-HD-Redux. Quake-HD-Redux is Quake, but it's overhauled with higher definition textures, multi-texturing, new effects, and some gameplay tweaks that modernize the experience. So basically, I'm going to go through and play some levels. I'll point some things out to you, some technical commentary, and I'll just point out some of the changes to the game, basically. So the levels are Quake levels. They're actually from the shareware levels, which are about the first 1/3 of the game. Shareware Quake, of course, was released for no charge, and so it's actually packaged into Quake HD-Redux. It's very easy to upgrade from the shareware-only levels to all of them. If you have the game, all you have to do is copy your pack files over. Instructions are included with the package on how to do that. So here you can see some of the new particle effects and colored light sourcing, as well as the real-time lighting and shadows on that wall there. The real-time lighting and shadows is probably the #1 thing that's going to slow down older systems or systems with lesser graphics cards. So if you have low frame rate, the first thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is go into the options menu, go to customize lighting, go down to RT World and just turn that off. You're still going to have an enhanced experience, you're still going to have the high definition textures and multi-texturing too. Multi-texturing, by the way, is so all of these textures include like normal maps and luma maps, things like that. So for example, one of the enhancements to the game, by the way, is this flashlight. Part of the multi-texturing is basically telling the game how to react to like this light sourcing, like from the flashlight. Another thing is this wall, for example, is a flat texture, but because it has a normal map, it looks more like the crevices in the wall are actually there and made from, like polygons. It's not, it's still just a flat texture, but because it's multi-textured, you get some of those effects. And even without the real-time lighting and shadows, you're still going to get those enhancements that the original game did not have. You can see with the real-time lighting and shadows, you also get a more enhanced like bloom effect from the lights. One of the things that you might notice with the enemy behavior is that the enemies, like the grunts, will shoot as they run. I don't know if you noticed that he did that there. But that's not traditional Quake behavior. It does make the game a little bit more challenging, but there are some other things that have been done to kind of balance that out as well. So, for example, if you give an enemy and you walk over their heart, your character will eat their heart, and that will restore a couple of health points. This effect here that you also saw earlier, where the soul comes out of the dead body, is just a graphical effect. There's really no gameplay value to that. It's just a graphical effect. So like for example, my health right now you'll see is 89. If I go over his heart, it increased to 94. So it's not a huge increase, but it is a little bit if you're low on health, just to restore a couple points there. Some blood splatter effects. Bodysuit effect. Here you can see kind of a cool particle effect that goes around his head. So it will go around enemies or enemy body parts when they fall into acid. That particle effect also generates around you if you die in acid. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't remember though. 5 out of 6 secrets. I don't remember which one that I have missed. Let's see if I can get all of them from this level. There you see a new enemy type. It's called Caravian, I believe. I'm probably mutilating that. But you'll also notice that some of the traditional enemy types, like the grunt here, have new animations, like idle animations. So like the grunt plays with his weapon. You might notice a knight kneeling. The ogre like plays with his chainsaw. Also another thing is, no matter what weapon you're on, if you hit the right mouse button, you do a melee attack with your axe. And the melee attack is a little bit more powerful as well. In order to kind of balance that out, there are some enemy attacks that are more powerful. So for example, the ogre melee with their chainsaw is more powerful than it traditionally was as well. Overall, I feel like the game is pretty well balanced. I'm gonna go back and get that secret that I opened over here. You'll probably also notice there that when I walked over this ammo crate, I did pick up some shells, but the crate is still there, and that's because unless you completely deplete the ammo, it's going to stay there until it's like completely gone. There you'll see a new animal type called the Aphid. They shoot fire, and they will catch you on fire. They generally join the knights, or if there's a group of knights around, there's likely going to be an Aphid with them. You'll also probably notice that the demons are quite a bit bigger. I think they're 115% of their normal size. Got all the secrets that time. I think this might be the last level. I just wanted to basically play through some levels and point out some of the changes, and kind of show some of the new graphics and effects and things like that. Oh, you'll see there, if you noticed, the ogre was on fire for a few minutes. If you don't kill the enemy when they're on fire, they'll just like run around for a few seconds and then they'll collapse and die. See if I can make it back to the ogre out here and see what's good. So what you're noticing now is like a poison effect. When you're hit by the little green globules or whatever, it has a chance of poisoning you. Basically, if you're poisoned, you lose 1 health point per second for like a few seconds. It's not a horrible thing, but if you're almost dead, it sucks. This is a new enemy called the Necromancer. The thing about the Necromancer is that he can summon afrits and these wizard things. But then when he dies, he leaves these pentastars, and the pentastar will give you a little bit of life back. Also, he has a blast radius when he dies, so try to stay out of that because it does quite a bit of damage. Did all right. Oh no. This is horrible. Okay. I feel like my aim with these has been really poor. Or maybe it's just my aim in general. Okay. Well, I was pretty much done anyway. I just kind of wanted to, like I said, play through a few levels, give you an idea of this enhanced version of Quake. If you are playing on a system that can't quite deal with all of the enhancements, or if you just like the classic feel of Quake, there is another package called Quake Classic that you might want to check out, which has a little bit of better textures, but other than that, all the gameplay is the same, and the feeling of the game is pretty much all the same as well. Alright, thanks guys.